when I was asked to share some words with you about women and gender at CIMMYT, I was at first surprised and then became ambivalent. You know, why would they ask me to speak on behalf of women's and gender's issues at CIMMYT? And I concluded that really what they wanted from communications was to have a program director to speak to this topic. And I guess it's hard to believe we don't have any female program director in CIMMYT. And so I was fortunate to be chosen to say something about this topic. So I don't know how many of you are aware that the International Women's Day was March 8th. So we just had International Women's Day. And when I started thinking about what to say to you this morning, I thought about a project that I visited in Nepal in 2007, the Hill Maze Research Project. And this project to me came to mind as a great example of work that CIMMYT does and has done to help gender equality and to help with gender issues around the world. And so in 2007, I visited 2 locations. One of them was the Devistan Women Farmers Group. The other one, I didn't write down the name, so I don't remember it. But these were areas where we were helping to develop seed production groups. And we were working exclusively with women farmers in these 2 communities, helping them first to learn how to produce maize seed of improved varieties, helping them to learn about business management, about marketing, and about the power of forming associations and coming together to be able to enhance their possibilities in terms of income generation. Then a friend of ours and a colleague in Bangladesh, CIMMYT office in Bangladesh, T.P. Tiwari, did an impact assessment of this work. And he clearly documented in his publication about the increased food security of women and other participants in the Hill Maze Research Project, and about the increased income base. And actually, when I visited, we did a tour, and the women's group that we visited showed me one of the houses, one of their houses. And they had in a basement, they had some metal containers that were airtight, and they were storing the seed that they produced in those containers so that it wouldn't be damaged by insects. And then we walked out to their garden, and they had some tents where they were growing vegetables. And the only reason they could grow those vegetables is because with the income from this project, they had been able to dig a small reservoir, and they had water, which allowed them to irrigate. And they could grow these horticultural crops. And so these women were extremely empowered. Their lifestyles, their livelihoods were improved through this project. And I thought, what a great example about what CIMMYT is doing, about what all of you are doing to empower women around the world. But then I thought for today I should probably think a little bit about what about us inside CIMMYT. That's the work we do, but what about gender issues inside of CIMMYT? And on February 11th, we had International Day of Women and Girls in Science. And UNESCO had a statistic that said, in quotes, just 28% of researchers around the world are women. Just 28%. I thought, well, CIMMYT, what do you think it is in CIMMYT? Oh, I didn't know either, so I asked Enrique yesterday, and I found out that in CIMMYT we have 363 women, 924 men. This was in 2016, last year. 28% of CIMMYT staff are women, and 27% of our internationally recruited scientists are women. Well, within our strategy, it says that one CIMMYT is going to help transform CIMMYT into a truly joined-up confederation in all areas of our work, regardless of geography or department. And this means developing a new and inclusive culture. Our values, I think we all know them by now. Excellence. We want the best staff, technically strong, innovative, impact-oriented. To achieve this, we need diversity of expertise and skills. And this comes from different disciplines, cultures, age groups, and yes, different genders. Number 2 value is teamwork. Creating a positive environment in which people can develop and succeed. All of us can develop and succeed, respecting diverse cultures, communities, and points of view. The third one is integrity. We need to take responsibility and hold ourselves accountable. And all staff should be guided by personal integrity and moral uprightness. So how do we feel about worldwide? 28% of researchers are women, and in CIMMYT, we are exactly average, 28%. Quite a coincidence. I couldn't have made up the figures more conveniently. So how can we do better? I'm not very happy just being average, striving for excellence and gender equality in our institution. What can each of you do? What can each of us do? Well, examine your own workplace, your laboratory, your work team, your field group, your HR team. Is it gender and family supportive where you work, where you're working? Does it seek equality as well as equity or equity? Equality, everything's the same. Equity, we give some assistance to those who need it. Capacity development, like the women farmers in Nepal. But there's a gender bias issue here that I need to work on, and I think all of us can find areas in our workplace where we can also work on improving gender. So CIMMYT is committed to diversity and equity because this helps us to maximize excellence, teamwork, and integrity. And now, I'm a program director, but I guess you should turn around, right? Thanks.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And the reason why we organized not a pasarela hoy, more or less, was to show that food security cannot be accomplished without the inclusion of all genders in all departments. Science is not just what's happening in the lab. We need the participation and the inclusion of all of the departments and the most talented people available. Here they are. Thank you very much. And we invite you to continue following our gender campaign on our website, our social media, and our newsletter. And so if you will please